You're listening to the Wealthy Lawyer Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Klein, and the founder of the Wealthy Lawyer Squad, a community specifically curated for law students and lawyers who are ready for more success, wealth, personal growth and wellness, and ease in their legal career. With the tools and strategies I teach in the squad and that I've implemented in my own career successfully, I want you to get ready to approach your legal career in a whole new way and live a life you never imagined. I'm a former big law attorney, entrepreneur, law firm owner, and success coach for law students and new lawyers, and I am here to support and inspire you on your journey in the law every step of the way. Let's go, squad. Welcome to Season 2 of the Wealthy Lawyer Squad. I feel like this is the perfect way to kick off our next season, our new season. Today's going to be a really cool episode. We're doing a CEO Club reunion with our fearless leader, Lawyer Britt, alongside with myself, of course, and Kristen Landon and Mercedes Garcia French. I'll give you all the background and everyone in just a moment. But all of us went through this incredible program last year with Brittany sitting here with me. We all started our firms fairly recently, and not only did we get to experience the incredible coaching and the mindset work and all of the practical things, we also formed this community of us ladies. We're missing a few. Today we miss them, and we'll have them on future episodes. But we recently, some of us went out to lunch about a month or two ago, and we had just the best conversations. Like, seriously, the coolest, most inspiring conversations. And I was like, we need to start off this season with us because the energy is insane. Everyone's stories are so cool. And I want to hear everyone's feedback on some questions that I've received recently from some law students. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Kristen Landon first, since she's my business partner, and we spend 24/7 together. Kristen Landon is not only one of my closest friends for almost 20 years, which is insane. She's also my law partner and the co-founder of our law firm, Flourish Law Group. Prior to entering into private practice with moi, Kristen spent 10 years in trust and estates and wealth management with one of the largest bank and wealth management companies in the industry as a corporate fiduciary. She is a graduate of Stetson University College of Law. She lives in St. Petersburg with her partner and her fur baby and their brand new house. And she enjoys travel and working out, yoga, reading, and hanging out with me all day while we work. Brittany, Lawyer Britt, Brittany Alexander, aka Lawyer Britt. I love this is the exact same bio I gave the last time, but it's so freaking good. I'm just going to give it again. I added a little bit more though. She started her own law firm, Premier Property Law, at 28 years old. And after the first year, hit $1.70 million in profit. Like, I have to say that again. It's insane. Especially now that we have our first year. I'm like, I don't know what you were doing, but it's just crazy. It's amazing. Now her firm consistently generates, that's why she's our coach. Now her firm consistently generates at least $250,000 a month, and maybe that's even higher now, in revenue with a team of 15 people and 100 clients. She's also the founder of the CEO Club, like I mentioned before, an immersive coaching program for female lawyers where she teaches women in the law, including all of us here, how to call the shots, write the rules, and build your own legacy. Britt lives in Fort Lauderdale like I do with her fiance and is getting married soon. Woohoo!
2 months from today.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And last but absolutely not least, Mercedes Garcia French is an Ecuadorian attorney. She immigrated to the U.S. in 2016, and she earned her California law license by 2020. Launched her immigration law firm focusing on investor visas for Latin America and Spanish entrepreneurs in 2021. Now, this part I did not know. She also became a California real estate broker in 2022. I emailed you about this morning. I'm like, oh my God, we have to talk about that. So amazing. And has since secured visas for many, many clients, enabling them to pursue their American dreams. So welcome everybody to this first episode of Season 2. I'm going to start by asking a few questions that I've received from law students, and then I'm going to give everyone a chance to chime in on those questions. And then I have a question I asked last episode when I had you on, episode 5 of season 1 of the Wealthy Lawyer Squad podcast. Check it out, where I had Lawyer Britt on, and I'm going to ask that to everyone as well. So let's get started with the questions. And I'm going to give this one first to Brittany because I think this is very fitting for your experience in starting a law firm and coaching women on doing the same. So Monica, who's a 2L, says or asks, do you have any advice for starting your own law firm? I'm interested in going solo fairly early in my career, but I'm scared I won't have enough experience or that I won't succeed. Is there anything I can do to set myself up for launching my own law firm one day while I'm in law school and in my first years of practicing? And Britt, obviously, I think this is your jam. So what advice?
This is what I'm all about. Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody has the same fears of, I don't know enough and I'm not going to be successful. Same fears. I mean, I talk to lawyers who have 7, 8 years of experience and like, oh, I don't know if I know enough yet. And I'm like, it's surprising to hear that, but everybody feels that way. And I've talked to people who've started law firms right out of law school. Like they graduate and then the next day they're like, I open up shop. So I think the best thing when you're in law school is number one, to make connections. Make connections, meet people, because if you want to open up your firm fairly early, I think it's important to know people you can go to for questions and advice and support and like, hey, I got this case referred to me, but I'm not really sure about this thing. What would you do? In a big law firm setting, you have that automatic mentorship, people you can kind of go to, but you don't always have that when you're a solo. So making those connections now with colleagues in law school, people that you know, but also with lawyers and your professors will be absolutely invaluable because you can go to them for advice and for help. And also to start documenting your journey. You're not necessarily marketing yet. You're not marketing yourself as a lawyer yet, but I would start putting out there that you are in law school and what you're learning and what you're doing and what your intentions are and kind of build that presence amongst either you could do it online on social media or you could do it in your community with people that you know, people in your family, people in your neighborhood, people in the groups that you're part of. That's important too because then once you graduate and you start your law firm, you have an automatic community to go to and say, hey, I'm on my own now. If you know anybody that needs help, I'm available. Yeah. Those are two really powerful things to do.
I love that. I really think that more so now than ever, starting your brand as early as possible and using whether it's word of mouth or social media, like showing people what you're doing. People care. People want to know what everyone's doing with their day and with their experience.
It makes them feel connected to you. And then when they have a problem or they have they want advice, they can come to you for it.
Yeah. And building the network. I mean, and having people, so you don't have to build that network, at the point that you've already started your firm. You already have people that you can go to and ask questions. I love that. Kristen, so the same question. And obviously, we literally just came up upon 1 year of celebrating creating our firm.
Snaps for that. Hold on, can we celebrate? That's amazing. Yes. I'm so excited for you both.
Yes. We finally got to have some champagne together last week when Kristen was here.
Yeah.
Yes. So what advice would you give Monica if she wants to start her own law firm early in her career? Kristen?
Definitely getting a good mentor or somebody that has more experience. I think when you start to freak out and you think, I really just don't know where to go, I don't know what to do next. Some people might have the personalities to wing it. That's not something I would ever suggest you should do right out of law school. So finding someone that you can really go to that can help you. I know even since we've started the firm, had friends that are in the same type of law as us, and they pretty much say, why aren't you calling me more? Call me, and I'm willing to help. So I think it's hard because sometimes you can feel like maybe it's a burden to other people, but people want to help. And, I know that we certainly want to help other people that are kind of going through the same steps that we've just been going through. And then another thing, I was actually talking to a friend of mine who is 9 years into his own really successful law firm. And he said that our law school actually had a program that it teaches young lawyers right out of law school how to start their own business. And that's not even something I knew that was available at my own law school. But now I'm like, can I go back? Can I still take that? So and I guess that program kind of teaches you about like accounting and different things that you need to kind of get your firm started, more on that like logistical end. So, there might be resources that you're not aware of. So definitely check with your law school and see if they have anything for you as well.
Yeah, that's so good. And we literally, Kristen and I, have multiple group chats going with different people in our industry, friends. And, we'll just text them, hey, what do you think about this? Or do you have a template for this? Or, whatever it might be. Yesterday we had a call with a potential attorney whose mom died in Israel, and there's a will, from Israel, and we're like, okay, what do we need to do with this? How do we open a probate in Florida? And it's just so nice to have those connections already, and then we reciprocate when that person or those people need help the same. And I think people, for the most part, really just want to be helpful, but building that connection early again is so key. And so, Mercedes, you started your firm a little bit before we did, so in 2021. So you have a few more years under your belt than us as owning your own law firm. And you did it fairly early on, like Britt too, which is so incredible. I'm always so blown away. It literally took me years of therapy to get to the point where I felt that I could start my own firm. I think I was 10 years out before we launched it. Mercedes, what would your advice be for Monica?
Thank you so much for the invitation, first, Lauren. It's a privilege to be here with all of you and with your audience. The advice that I will give to law students who are planning to start their own law firm, I would say that first, brainstorm all the reasons why you want to start your own law firm, right? And when you start writing those reasons why you want to start your own law firm, probably my reasons were concepts, new concepts that I learned when I came to the US, that it was financial freedom, passive income, have more time for the things that I like to do outside of my life as a lawyer. And these reasons are going to give you the first tips of what you should do when you start, right? If you want more time for yourself, maybe right away, one of the things that always Brittany also tell us is hire someone as soon as you start, at least to do those activities that you know that you can delegate administrative tasks. And then you are going to start tasting a little bit of what that freedom feels. 1 hour first, 2 hours first, additional time that you're going to have for yourself. And you're going to find out why you want to start your business, because sometimes we start our own business and it's like we are starting a new job. We're buying ourselves a job and we're working even more hours that we will be working in our regular jobs, right? So I will say, write down the reasons why you want to start your own business. I will add what Kristen said too, find mentors. Finding mentors has been absolutely life-changing for me. And lastly, I would say, take care of yourself, right? You cannot help your clients if you're not taking care of yourself, of your health, physical health, mental health, emotional health. You come first. You cannot pour onto someone else, right, on help your clients if you're not taking care of your health, of your body, of your container, of your mind. And that will totally change the environment around you, and you're going to be able to vibrate higher and also lead others and help your clients more efficiently and more happily.
It's so true. I think in law school, or if you're starting a business or starting your career in law, or sometimes people never learn this, if you don't take care of yourself and your mind, you're going to burn out or you're going to be miserable. And that's, I don't think, anyone's goal. But we forget about it. We don't focus on it. We kind of just focus on what do we need to do next? What are the tasks we need to do? There's never enough time to do it all. We end up feeling completely burnt out, stressed, and it's just it's not healthy and it's not fun. And I love that, and I love that you brought that up, because I think that conversation needs to be had a lot more in the legal, and I know it does in the legal industry.
Isn't there a quote, and it's like, a healthy person has a million dreams, but an unhealthy person only has one? So it's like, if you don't take care of your health, you'll be forced to take care of it at some point, and then you won't have time to accomplish all of the goals and the dreams that you have.
Yeah.
It's important to put priority. That was very, very well put, Mercedes.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's all really great advice. I know Monica will be happy to hear. She had sent me that after I spoke at my law school. And I think there's a lot of people who, especially more now than ever, want to start their own firms, and they're realizing that maybe that is a better option for them than going to work for another firm indefinitely. And Mercedes, like you said, the idea of financial freedom, and I know we talked about that a lot in the CEO Club, and passive income. I mean, a law firm is not necessarily going to be completely passive, but there are many ways to make it a lot more passive than a job where you're solely trading your time for money, and there's always going to be a cap. When I was at the big law firm, I was like, well, I'm making a lot of money, but there's a cap. There's a cap on what I will earn here because of the restraints that are put on me. And so I love that you brought that up too. I mean, it sounds like network is so important. Taking care of yourself is so important. Branding, and then money. I mean, those are really the things that we talk about on this podcast and that I love to talk about. And I think the legal industry needs to be shaken up a lot more, to know that these things are important, not just these external goals. Amazing. Okay. The next question, and we'll just go in the same order. And I love this question, and I know everyone, because for different reasons in this group, will love this question too. So Ashley is a 1L, and she asked about her school's summer in Spain program. So I know you're going to love this question. I know everyone in this will. And she said, she's afraid that if she goes away for the summer or part of the summer, that she's going to fall behind on certain classes like criminal procedure because they're not offered in Spain. She's also thinking it will affect any summer jobs that she'll receive since she will be in Spain for about half the summer. She's wondering if it's something that she should pursue or if she should instead stay behind and take Crim Pro or some other class that maybe won't be offered in the fall. I'm not really sure the timing aspect of it, but what would your advice be?
What was her name?
Her name is Ashley, and she's
Ashley.
a 1L.
I have so many thoughts on this, and it boils down to this. What do you want to do? What is your heart calling you to do? If you're like, oh, I really want to get ahead and do the classes and learn the things and graduate early and I want to get it done, go do that. But if your heart is saying, I want to go away, I want to have this experience, like I want to do this once in a lifetime thing, go and do that. Because I'll tell you what, I had the same thing happen to me. I think we talked about this last time I was on this podcast. Yes. So I had the opportunity to go and do a 1L summer internship at a really reputable law firm. And everyone told me to do it. People told me that if I didn't do it, it would be just the biggest mistake and all these things. And I said, my heart is saying that I want to go to Spain. My heart is saying that I want to go and experience this and live for a month and a half abroad and travel places and see things. So I'm going to go do that. And yes, I did take 2 classes, so I got a little bit of credit. It wasn't really credit that I needed for graduation or anything, but it counted towards everything, so it wasn't like a zero sum.
Yeah.
But I've never once regretted that. I've never once said ooh, I wish I did the summer internship and X, Y. That's never once crossed my mind. In fact, when I'm at parties, when I am at lunches and dinners and networking events, you know what comes up? Not my summer 1L internship. What comes up is the fact that I spent a month and a half in Europe and all the places I saw and the experiences that I had. So I might be biased in saying that that's what to do, but that's really following what you know would be right for you. It all comes down to trusting yourself and knowing that you know what's right for your path and for what you want to do. And what someone says you should do or you have to do, remember that that is something they have decided that they think is either impossible or required, or in their mind they have decided that something is too hard or something can't be done a certain way. And they're projecting onto you. So you need to say, okay, pause. And some people have good intentions. My parents obviously wanted the best for me, so they didn't want me to go and spend a summer that they thought was not fruitful. But a lot of people are just projecting onto you. So you have to kind of take everything with a grain of salt and realize, well, maybe they thought that was not the right decision for them. So I'm going to look inside and I'm going to make the right decision for me and follow my heart.
It's so funny because while I was in law school and during my career thus far, so many times people have offered either solicited or unsolicited advice about what I should do. And I started to realize, one, I shouldn't take their advice if they are not where I want to be.
Yes.
And also, when anyone in any context just gives blanket advice with no, well, have you thought about what you want to do? Or have you thought about if that class is offered in the fall? Or, kind of digging a little bit deeper, if they just say you should do X, Y, Z, I always question it, because how do they know what I should do or not do? You know what I mean? Why? Why? And I feel like it's happened so many times, and sometimes I have followed what that person suggested and regretted it, many times. And every time that I've listened to what I want to do and followed my own gut, it worked out in the end.
Because you trusted yourself. You knew for
Yeah.
you what was the best decision.
Yeah, yeah. Kristen, I know you'll love this question as well.
I'm a serial study abroad student, so I mean, I'm horribly biased. So I can start with that. But I would say I agree with everything that Brittany said, except for just do it. Just do it. I just think you should do it. I did have very, very similar feedback. I did study abroad in undergrad. Absolutely love that. I went for a full semester. And then in law school, I went a full semester in London. And then I did a summer semester in Argentina. So I never regretted any of the experiences, any of the travels I did, and the other travels I got to do while I was at those travels. I had, I made great connections with the teachers that were on those programs. And I think that they really ended up becoming a good referral source, because we're all just kind of part of this community. You're going to get really close with some students that you go on that trip with. It's a very bonding experience. I'm still very close friends with a lot of the people that I did my London program with. And we just did a 10-year reunion, and we kind of went back to where we started, and we took pictures in front of our old dorms, and it was great. But same thing that Brittany said, it comes up in interviews, it comes up in networking events, whatever it is. And it's something people love to talk about. People love to talk about travel, and it shows that you're diverse in a different type of way, and you have curiosities. And I would never take it back, and I would do it 100 times more if I could. So if that's something you're considering, you're thinking, oh, this could be cool, but maybe I should take this, I don't know, whatever that class is. We had certain classes that people said, like, oh, you should take like evidence 3 or whatever it is. And I'm like, I'm just going to go and frolic over in Europe. And we had great classes, and I didn't miss out on education, but certainly I think people think that you're not serious if you're doing something like that. And I actually think the opposite, that it's more helpful than an extra thing on your resume. And there's always going to be time to work. If you're a 1L, you have more summers, you have jobs that you can take during the semester. So I just think it's really kind of a one in a lifetime experience. And then also, when else can you go live somewhere else for a month or 2 months? That's one thing that I really thought about when I was considering doing it. When else am I going to be able to go do this and have kind of supplemental funding from the school, or a cheaper place to stay? And a lot of times they organize a lot of travel or trips or monument type activities, and those were all great. So I would say go for it.
Yeah. And I went for it by I did the summer in Spain program in my law school, but I also followed Kristen around the world. Every time she went somewhere, I'm like, I'm just going to come with you too. And I think when you were in London, I was at Deloitte, and I told the partners I was working with, the directors, that I was going, and they're like, well, we've never even been to Europe, so why do you think in your first year as a lawyer you get to go? And I was like, that sounds like a you problem.
Bye.
You should probably book a flight now. Just go. You're
Do you want to come?
50 years old. Yeah. Just
Let's all just go right now.
I just want to hop in really quick and let everyone know that I'm so excited to be launching my first cohort of the Lawyer Success Blueprint July 12th. This is going to be my new coaching program for new lawyers. This is typically people who are 1 to 10 years out of law school, who are ready to find success and the tools and strategies to create their ultimate legal career and to really find success and ease in their law careers. It's starting July 12th, but don't forget to sign up early by June 30th to get the early bird special. Get $750 off this incredible coaching program and community with the code Wealthy Lawyer. I can't wait to see you in there. But I had a blast with Kristen, and I was so happy that she took all those opportunities. I did one, but I wish I would have kept going as well. So yeah, so good. Mercedes, I don't know if you ever did summer abroad, but before we all hopped on, Britt and I were joking that you're Carmen Sandiego, and we always want to know where you are. So I'm sure you'll have some really amazing feedback on this as well.
Ashley, right? What you learn from the world is real life, right? What you learn outside of your comfort zone, of your surroundings that are probably your friends, your family, your school, your language, right? It's just a little part of the whole world, the universe, the whole life. When you go outside of your comfort zone, your life changes because your mind changes. You start meeting so many people from so many parts of the world. That's real life, right? You start learning how people from different parts of the world operate, think based on their culture, traditions, the way they are brought up, right? Everybody thinks different depending on how they grow up, the environment, right? And the teachings that they are receiving every day based on the government, the culture, the economy, right? And when you start receiving all this information based on these multiple interactions that you have every day with international students, your mind expands, your life expands. You realize that the way you approach someone and the way you communicate with somebody will be different if you say the same thing to someone that is from my first experience abroad was in Japan. I lived 2 years in Japan in different years. It's completely different. The first time I live in Osaka, it's a mega metropolis, and the second time I live in the countryside, right? And I was the only foreigner there, and I started teaching Zumba in this place where nobody had learned about Zumba, and nobody had learned about salsa, merengue, all these rhythms from South America, right? And I started teaching. People loved it, and just seeing these Japanese women learning Latin American dances and sharing their experiences, I learned so much of how women in Japan, in Asia think, right? And this is real life. I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world. And this totally changed my life. I went back to Ecuador, finished my law school, and then I really wanted to go abroad again, right? I wanted to go abroad again. I did my first master's in the Netherlands. When I was in Japan, I traveled all over Asia. In the Netherlands, I traveled all over Europe, and I was with American lawyers in this program, right? American lawyers and lawyers from all over the world. And being able to have these experiences with other lawyers and with other people from other parts of the world made me realize that not everybody wants the same, right? Not everybody wants the same. And then your own wants, your own desires also start shifting. Your priorities start shifting. And it's different how you feel right now that you are at 1L to how you will feel when you finish law school, right? Or when you start practicing, or when you start your own business. Your priorities changes, your hunger increases, because the more you know and the more people you interact, the more you want it, right? I've been in 52 countries, and
wow,
the blessing of being able to travel the world and to experience how everybody thinks is what makes me realize that helping others, right, and sharing your information and everything that you learn with others is what help us also grow, right? So you will realize after you go on your first trip that experience, that internship that you had in this law firm, probably it's a really well-known law firm, will be there waiting for you. Or maybe even something better will come around because you are vibrating different, right? You have more information now inside of yourself, and you have interacted with so many other people, and we are energy, right? We're all of us are energy. And the more you learn and the more exposure in the world you have, the more opportunities you are attracting to you because your mind is expanding, right? So 100% take that opportunity to go somewhere else outside of your comfort zone, and you see a tremendous amount of growth in your personal and professional life.
Oh my God.
That was profound. That was profound, Mercedes. Next time, I'm so glad that we're recording, because next time somebody asks me, like, I don't know if I should study abroad, I'm going to play what you just said, because that's so true. And it profound.
I literally have chills. Literally have chills. And it's very real to me, because before I did my summer in Spain program, I didn't think that I was someone who went to Europe. I didn't think that just wasn't part of my identity growing up. That wasn't something that necessarily was available to me or seemed like it was available to me. And when a friend in my law school asked me to go, I was like, I can't go. I can't afford it. My parents are going to, not support it. All these immediate, beliefs, limiting beliefs came up. And I didn't know what limiting beliefs were at the time, but I just knew that I couldn't go. And my friend convinced me, I ended up going, and it literally started a whole new different path in my life with respect to travel, with respect to how I saw the world, with respect to what I thought was available. And so I love that answer for 1 million reasons, but I think just to let people know, you're a law student or a lawyer, like, you got to think outside the box of this really tiny box that the legal community has created for you, because it's all BS. And it's all, I think, like you said, Brittany, like, most people really do mean well. But it all comes from very much a scarcity mindset. And I think the way that our brains are trained in law school to look for the negative in scenarios and look for the issues. But if you can just kind of take a step back and remember, I'm a human first before I'm a lawyer or a law student. And what do I want to do and how do I want to see the world? It will help you to decide, what the right answer is. And for anyone listening who is either a law student or a lawyer who's thinking about going into big law, the guy, I remember very clearly, someone told me, he was a 2L or a 3L, I don't remember. He said, when I thought about going to the summer in Spain program, he said to me, Lauren, this is the time to be serious now. You're in law school. You need to go take this class or whatever it was. You need to be serious. And I wound up in big law and he didn't, which is my point number one. Like, don't take advice from people that aren't where you want to go, like I said. But my second point is, when I was interviewing for big law positions or when I was talking to partners, the fact that I had done that program was very helpful in the interview process, because they wanted to know about me. I mean, not every big law interview will go like that, but they do want to know, who are you? Are you able to talk to clients? And especially if you're in a very client-facing industry like trust and estates, are you able to talk to someone about your life experiences? Are you cultured? Are you able to have those conversations? And so, in my opinion, doing that program helped me get that job in big law, as opposed to if I had just done that internship. I think it was helpful. So if you want to look at it purely from a goals kind of perspective, I think it can be really helpful too. Oh, see, this is why we had to do this podcast episode, because you guys you blow my mind every time I talk to each and every one of you. And I'm so grateful that you're all in my circle. Okay, the last question that I'm going to ask for everybody, and this is the same question I was asking every episode last season, because it's so good. If you could tell your 1L self anything, what would it be, just in general? And because this show is a lot about money mindset and abundance, what would you tell your 1L self about money?
Wait, can we go backwards? Can we start with Mercedes?
Yeah, let's do it. Mercedes, what would you tell your 1L self? The question is, what would you tell your 1L self, your first year of law school, about any advice, anything you could go back, and if you could go back in time, and then specifically with respect to money, what would you tell your 1L self from Mercedes today?
This is such a good question. First, I would tell myself, you don't know anything about money. You don't know anything about money. Look for a mentor. Look for a mentor right now. And money is not bad. Money is not the root of evil, right? It's a saying, it's a very common saying in Spanish and in the Latin American culture that money makes you a bad person, that people with money gets crazy, that you are don't listen to people that say those things, right? Don't listen to people that tell you, why do you want more if you're in a great place right now? And don't feel bad because you want more. Don't feel bad because you know in your gut that there is more. At that time, um, you know what you know, right now we can want more if we don't know it's possible. I would tell myself there is so much possibilities out there that you don't know now, but it is possible. There are people making tons of money is amazing. Money is going to make you more of who you are, who you truly are. And money does not have arms, does not have a brain, does not have legs. Money is a tool, is an amazing tool that allows you to do and allows you to do what you want and allows you to help other people. If you go out there, you're going to learn so much more about money and you're going to expand your mind, help other people grow, help yourself grow, help your loved ones grow. And also I would tell myself that you're not going to make only money for yourself. You're going to make money for a whole team, maybe a whole country, maybe a whole continent, and you will be helping people from all over the world, all over South America, establish their business in the United States. And in order to do this, you need resources. And the more resources you have, the more people you can help and the more authentic you can be.
So good. So good. Kristen, what would your advice be to your 1L self about anything and then specifically with respect to money?
I think the first thing it would be to not have kind of like a predisposition of what I'm going to go into after. I think I would have challenged myself to try more things, try more different types of internships, try out for groups that I don't even know if it's going to matter. Maybe I don't want to be a trial attorney, but try for a trial team or a mock team or a moot team. I would probably have just said, do everything, try different types of law. I think I kind of stayed into things that I had an idea going in that's maybe more of what I wanted to focus on. And I now have become friends with somebody that lived in my previous apartment community, and she goes to Stetson now. And she just told me, I worked at this type of firm and I love being in the courtroom, and I worked for an in-house thing for one of my internships. And she just kept trying all these different things, and just the confidence that she has because she's had a little taste of all these different things. She's really got to decide now. And she's she's doing those interviews. Like, she gets to decide where she wants to go. She hasn't kind of pigeoned herself into something that she thought, well, I'm kind of scared and I don't want to do those things. This is the time to take those chances, because it doesn't matter. I mean, you might find out that you're really good at something that you didn't think you were, or something might pique your interest. I know, Lauren, with you kind of took that tax class and you thought, oh, wow, this is kind of fun. And if you don't kind of think outside of the box and you just kind of really stay in, I need to do these certain things and I'm going to stay working at this one place the whole time. And sometimes an internship can turn into a career. I know a lot of people that worked places and they stayed there, but I just think the amount of experience that you can get if you just kind of throw caution to the wind and you just challenge yourself to try things that are outside your comfort zone, you might really learn some extra things about yourself. And as far as money, I think I did a lot more worrying about money in law school. And I wish I could tell myself, just, you've already made this decision that you're going to make this investment in yourself, and don't just worry about it all the time. The money will come. You will find a good job. I remember when I was going into law school, a lot of people said, "Oh, law school's too expensive." It was when there was a recession. People said, "You're not going to be able to find a job." And I remember having that conversation with Lauren because she had started law school before me, and I said, I can't lived my whole life after law school and I've never found a job. That would be like not being able to find a job for 40 years. That would be pretty unfortunate. So I decided to just do it because I thought there's no way that I could just never find something. Then there's something about me. So, just don't worry so much if you're taking on student loans. Don't go crazy and spend money on things you really don't need, but definitely spend the money on the travel and get those experiences, and then you'll get it. It'll keep you more open to getting a job that I think you'll enjoy, and then the money will come.
I love it. I love it. What about you, Britt?
I know you asked this question last time I was here. I can't remember for the life of me what I said. So maybe this will serve as like evolutionary, like, you were always changing and evolving. So twofold. First thing I'm going to say is it is now a core belief of mine. Like in my soul, I know everything is always working out for me. And that started out as like an affirmation that I learned from Amanda Francis. But it took some time for me to really instill in myself that even when something looks like it's not working out or something's not going to happen or things are just like blowing up and they're chaotic and it's not at all what I wanted, in the moment, it's not clear what's going on. In the moment, I can't see the full path forward, but I do know, like, I fall back on this belief every time now that, oh, everything's always working out for me. Something is shifting in whatever's happening in my life so that something that's better can become apparent for me. So I would tell my 1L self that because I learned that in the last, like, let's say 4 or 5 years. I really, like, instilled that belief in myself. I wish I knew that before too, because again, like Kristen was saying, like, I wish I wasn't worrying so much about so many things that like don't even matter. Like not necessarily grades, but like things that were happening at school. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the end of the world. It's never going to happen this way, whatever. But it all worked out perfectly. I mean, here I am sitting here, owner of a multi-million-dollar law firm. I'm going to end up with like 20 employees at the end of this year. That's nuts. That's insane. I did not think that when I was in law school, like at all. I did not think this was going to happen. Like it was kind of like in the back of my mind desire, but like little things happening here and there and, getting a job for like a pittance of a salary. All these things were working out for me. They were all building up in my favor. And so I think instilling in my 1L self that everything is working out for you, like keep going on this path, keep doing what feels right for you because everything's always working out for you. So that's what I would tell my 1L self. Now, in terms of money, and again, I don't remember what I said last time I was here, but I am focused right now very heavily on building my net worth. Like that's like the most fun game I'm having lately is building my net worth. And I think the mindset I had in law school was very much about salary and how much I can afford for a car payment and how am I going to afford this travel, which is fine. Like we all start somewhere and that's the reality that I had and it's a reality for most people. But once I started making money, I didn't allow myself to then spend all that money. Once I had my first multiple 6-figure year, first 7-figure year, I wasn't like, cool, I've got all this money to blow. Let's go buy a huge house and 10 cars. I didn't do that. Now I do like designer handbags, so I buy things that make me excited and happy, but I intentionally kept my expenses fairly low to what I was making so that I could stack that money and have that net worth. I actually have an app on my phone where I can see like, how much am I worth like today? How much am I worth this month? And it's fun for me because it feels secure. Like I feel like I have resources, I have options. If I wanted to do something crazy, try something new, if I wanted to go invest in this crazy new investment, like I could do that because I have the resources and nothing will fall apart, right? If something crazy happens to me, like I still have the ability to continue my life, to not have any bumps in the road. Like I have resources and I have security and I really like that. And so I would tell anyone else to start doing that now, kind of start like stacking up. But I don't mean just like not spending and just saving everything, but really consider to yourself, hey, like what do I want to have as security? What do I want to have as resources? Can I put an extra $500 a month away. If I made this money at this job, can I put that towards my brokerage account and start investing? Because that's when it starts to get fun. When you start building your wealth, you start having resources, you feel secure. You don't have to stay in a crappy job. You don't have to, you can go travel. You can go do the things. So that's what I would tell a one out in respect to money, is start playing with that idea of building up your security, building up your net worth so you can do whatever you want.
I love all of you guys. You guys are all seriously my favorite people. Thank you, Brittany, for the past year, being our, like I said, our fearless leader as we navigate, these sometimes rocky waters and sometimes incredible waters. Thank you for being that guiding light for all of us. I'm so glad we got to have this conversation. I am now, as always, inspired by all of you. I know all the listeners are going to be as well. We should definitely do another one of these at some point this season, because I think the conversations that we have, there's something about it with this group that is just pure magic and pure gold. So thank you to all of you for being here today on the very first episode of season 2 of the Wealthy Lawyer Squad. I appreciate all of you and your time. I know we're all busy. And thank you for joining us today. And I love you guys.
Thanks,
seriously.
Lauren. We love you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
Bye,
us.
everyone.